All right, let's go ahead and get started. We should, Greg should be on shortly. I haven't heard from him, but I hope all is well. So tonight, Thursday, December 9th, 2021, Town Council meeting. This meeting of the Town Council will proceed virtually as permitted under the Maryland Open Meetings Act. The public is invited and encouraged to attend the meeting remotely by clicking on all the links that we've provided and on our calendar. So we're going to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. And since Elizabeth is in Hawaii,
I knew it.
she's going to lead the way.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You did great, even from Hawaii.
It was Pearl Harbor Day yesterday, just as a reminder, by the way. Oh, 2 days ago.
2 days
Sorry.
ago.
Today's the 9th.
I'm
lost
looking at
today.
the, I said, time out.
Yeah, I lost today in travel.
All right, Stacy, you want to do roll call?
Sure. Mayor Benton,
Here.
Mr. Dotson, Mr. Hummel. See him. Ms. Lofton. I'm letting people in at the same time. Ms. Cavler. Mr. Troncone.
Here.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Now, the November 11th. Paul, you were at that meeting, right?
I was, yep.
Okay. So we have a quorum, so we can go ahead and vote the minutes. So in your package, you'll see the minutes from the November 11th, 2021 Town Council meeting. I need a motion to pass the minutes from the November 11th, 2021 meeting as presented.
So moved. I think Mickey seconded it.
The Mickey second. All right.
Thank
We
you.
have a
Paul.
first, we have a second. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. For love. Thank you so much. Right below that, in your package, minutes from the December 2nd, 2021. Well, you weren't there, Paul.
Yeah, I was not at that one.
So we'll table those minutes. We'll table those. All right, let's go ahead and get the public safety report. There he is. Lights are on. He is muted. He's unmuted.
Oh, there we go.
Please unmute.
So in the package, you see the North Beach calls for service. Any questions for the deputy at this moment in time? I have one. If there's no other ones, raise your hand because there's a lot of mute going on. So if you, all right. Gary, what do we have any information about the speed camera that was set up leaving out of town?
Yes.
Tell council and everybody that's on the call what took place, when it was there, and so forth.
Okay. We set up a covert radar camera on November 16th, and we had it up until November 23rd. Within that time frame, we had 4,355 cars coming into the town, and we had 4,169 cars leaving town, which is a total of 8,524 cars. Of the cars that were approaching, the average speed coming into town was 32 miles an hour. Of those cars, 85% of them were averaging about 38 miles an hour in a 25 mile an hour zone. The cars receding or going away out of town, the average speed was 32 miles an hour, and the 85 percentile was 36 miles an hour. So it was 2 miles an hour slower of the 85 percentile of the vehicle leaving. So there is a speeding 25 miles an hour. The average is 32. So yes, they are speeding. We're going to continue to address the speeding issue with high visibility and radar with marked units to try to at least get that speed down more. from the 38 percentile, 38 mile an hour into 85 percentile, and the 36 mile an hour into 85 percentile. Try to get those speeds down lower to hopefully in the upper 20s. So we're going to do that by high visibility and continuing our enforcement efforts.
All right, Lauren, you have the question? Stacy, you might have to do something.
Yeah. Well, how come it's not allowing them to unmute?
Sometimes, there you go. Sometimes. it doesn't
Okay,
get that.
I'm here. No, yeah, it wouldn't let me unmute again. So the speed camera, was it stationed going out of town towards Chesapeake Beach or towards Anne Arundel?
Anne Arundel.
It was on 261 right there by 9th and Bay, that stretch coming in from Anne Arundel.
Okay.
It was a
Okay.
covert camera, so nobody knew it was there. I didn't even know it was there. Lieutenant Hollinger had it done with Sergeant Phelps and First Sergeant Dean. So nobody knew it was there but Lieutenant Hollinger. So that camera, nobody saw it. So that did not affect anybody's speed coming in. If you see one of those other VMS boards where it has your speed and everything, people tend to either speed up to see how fast they can go, or they tend to slow down thinking they're going to get a speed camera. So that kind of influences the speed. With this one here, you don't see it. So it doesn't influence anybody's speed whatsoever.
Okay, thanks.
And also that week, State Highway also had T down there. They were doing a crosswalk program where they actually dressed up someone like just an everyday resident walking.
Yes.
And the deputies were down by the church.
Yep.
And this person would attempt to cross the crosswalk, and when they couldn't, the deputies would pull the car over. So we
And they-
asked, now
they
State
were dressed
Highway
in,
does this.
They were dressed in bright orange, so
Yes.
there was no reason for you not to be able to see them.
So State
the
Highway.
guy's a
does
very
when
large
this is
guy.
done. So we're hoping we could do it during peak sometimes too.
Yes.
But that's a state highway project. We don't have any control over it, neither do the deputies.
Right.
They tell them when, and that's it.
Yeah,
So we're gonna do our best to lobby.
State Highway sets time frames, weeks for seatbelt, pedestrians, traffic safety, things of that nature, and they give us grants to do this. So we're at their beck and call. Whenever they have it, that's when we can do it.
So just to give you an update, to let you know what's going on. So thank you so much with the camera. We're going to continue to have a conversation about that, figuring out what we can do. As we all know, that is a state road. There's only so much we can do as a town. We do work with State Highway, and we will continue to work with them. So thank you so much. Any other questions for the deputy?
I do have one quick question. So I guess it's about, let's say 10 miles an hour over going out of town. How does that compare to other like residential areas that you've seen where similar studies have been done? Is it?
It's all about the same. It's all about average. It breaks it down into 5 to 10 mile an hour increments, and most of the vehicles were within that 85% were within like 10-ish over, 10 to 15 over, which that's pretty much an average speed for speed limits that are 25. About 35-ish is usually what people normally do. 35 to 40 is about what they do in residential or lower speed areas. Now Route 4, that's a whole different monster. But on normal side back roads and things of that nature, you're usually averaging about 10 or 15 over as a going rate for. So it's not anything astronomically out of whack, but I still want to try to address it to at least move it down even further.
Yeah, that's an important point though. I mean, there is a speeding problem, but it's consistent with other similar zones.
Correct. Yes. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions before we move on? All right. Thank you so much for attending tonight. And don't forget to hit the breakout. The report is, the deputy's report is in the board docs. You have it. If you have any questions, you can reach out throughout the week.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Let's move into reports. Let's start with the treasury report. I saw Joe. There she is, top right.
Yes, 1 second, let me move us around on my screen. You have the report in front of you. You'd see the beginning balance for August was $1,491,000. The ending balance for the end of August was 1,441,000. And then MLGIP general fund was 2,893,000. And sewer is 89,000 and water capital is 43,000. Total cash available to the town of North Beach is 4,468,000. You'll see that we received quite a bit of hotel tax revenue during the month of August. It was accumulative through a few months throughout the season. Mayor, do you have any questions on the report?
I do not have any questions. Council members, anybody have any questions for Joe before we, Mickey does? Hold on, we will unmute you or something will happen. Nope, didn't work. There it is.
I noticed we're looking at till August 31st. I know we're a few months behind. Are we gonna play like a catch-up game where we go through a couple of reports at once to get sort of back into the month behind, or?
Probably I'm a month behind. The month of December or January, I'll give you 2 reports at a time. But if you look at the previous years, we're only 1 month out of whack of what our
Yeah.
normal schedule is.
Yeah, I just noticed like we jumped one somewhere, like we dropped it.
Yeah.
Okay. That was all.
All right,
All
thank
right,
you.
cool.
Any other questions? Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
All right, next is DB Public Works. He's going to be on here twice. Right now, he's going to go over or at least be available for his report, and then he's going to speak again about 10 minutes later. So unmute DB or DB, unmute your, there you go. His report is included. DB, would you like to pass on something, and if you have questions, please feel free to ask.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions on the report, feel free to ask. I'd just like to say, I kind of like to give a shout out to my new crew. The way it worked out, as everybody knows, we hired 3 new people in Public Works. Myself was the only one left out of the staff when I started. But this past couple months, we've been doing a lot of training, like going over a lot of the SOPs, a lot of the standard operating procedures for the town, for the water sewer system, things like that. And the crew is really doing a great job. You know, we're trying to get into the computer, Paul. We're trying to get into the GSI technology age. We're trying to move forward. But my crew, like I said, we did a switch, unfortunately, but it's working out really well. The guys are, I'm proud of the crew, and we hired 3 good guys, and I think they're going to be a great asset to the town. So far, they've been doing a great job. But if
Absolutely.
anybody has any questions on the other items, please feel free to ask.
His report is included. Also, you can see him around town. No questions? All right, let's move on. Thank you, DB. Stay put, because you're going to be needed in a couple minutes. All right, marketing. Dawn? Hold on. There it is. Dawn's
Hello.
report is also included. And what would you like to pass on, Dawn?
Let's see, lots of Christmas lately. Of course, we've decorated the town and we're having some small Christmas events. We lit the town this weekend. Hopefully we'll have a movie. Not sure what the weather's gonna do. Tomorrow I'll be putting out the flyer for the Santa Claus is Cruising the Town, which will be on the 18th, where the mayor and Santa and Mrs. Claus travel throughout the whole town. There will be a map included with that flyer, so look for that tomorrow. What
Real
else?
quick, Dawn,
Yes.
before she goes on, the map is an estimate for us.
It says that
So when,
right on there, it's an estimate.
yeah, I know, but when you're talking to your neighbors, council members, let them know that we say between this time and this time, but if we get held up by kids, it might take us a little longer. We will not go home until we hit everything. But some areas, there's a lot of kids. So just let your neighbors know we will be there.
I think
Sorry.
you should be like Domino's, where I get a free pizza if you're late or something.
Yes,
You get an extra candy cane.
green one. Go ahead.
Let's see, other than that, so we've got the polar bear plunge coming up on New Year's Day. The new polar bear shirts designed and all of that. I'm cutting off the sponsorship opportunity. I was going to do it today, but I'll do it tomorrow morning. We have 29 sponsors. We have a lot of new ones this year and a lot of return ones, so that's exciting. And then the other thing I'll mention is the upgrading our audio visual equipment that we will talk about in a few minutes. So I have information on that, and Paul will have input as well as Mayor Benton.
Fantastic. Any questions for Dawn? Her report is in there. Fantastic. Let's move on to Rick's report. He is not here, was not able to attend. His report is in here. Again, if you need him, you know where to find him. Please reach out to him. Zoning and code. We have Croto and we have Rick in zoning and Croto and code. They've been very busy, very, very busy around town. So if you have any questions for them, give them a call, reach out, meet with them. Next is community conservation, Lisa.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a good night.
Absolutely.
Yes. I put together my report for October, November. As most of you know, I was in a car accident in September and I'm doing much better. So I've been doing some programs with the help of a lot of support from volunteers and the North Beach House and Garden Club, including tomorrow. We're having another one of our crafty campfires tomorrow afternoon. No, not tomorrow, Saturday, right before the Grinch movie. So hopefully we do have good weather for the campfire and the Grinch movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I've started doing programs with the new director over at the senior center. So we do those once a month. They're called the Nature Talks. And the most exciting thing is that we have been working on a watershed stewards grant with Chesapeake Bay Trust, and we will be submitting it tomorrow or Monday. So I thank you for the support of everybody. You know, the watershed stewards came and talked to you all and did a presentation, and they also talked to the environmental committee and the storm committee. So I appreciate everybody's support, and hopefully we will get that grant and do a demonstration rain garden for all of our residents.
Love to see it. We were lucky enough to take the family to Lisa's last campfire, and was a huge turnout. Parents were having a great time. She did trivia. It was funny how competitive parents got with the trivia. The poor kids. Yeah. What kids? We don't need kids. So great turnout.
And also we're going to have s'mores this time, because last time all I brought were gummy worms and everybody ate them all.
Don't blame my kid for everything. I'm teasing. All right. Thank you so much, Lisa. Anybody have any questions for Lisa before we move on? Nope. All right. We're going to move right into public comments. The Town of North Beach welcomes public comments. Public comments can be taken in the chat box. Even though this is the time for it, if something pops up throughout the meeting, just throw it in the chat box and I'll make sure that I address it. Just make sure you state your name, your address, and your comment. So we'll wait a second before we move on. I'm teeing it up for you, DB. All right. So I will keep my eyes out for any public comments, and then we'll make sure we address them. Business item. We're going to update you on the October nor'eastern storm world that we're in. Also, I wanted to make note that our town attorney, Alyssa Levin, is on the call tonight. So she's here, ready and willing. There she is. If we have any legal concerns or questions, she's there just waiting to answer something. She doesn't care. Just give her something. All right. So in your report is, I think, a wonderful breakdown of where we stand with the nor'eastern, when it took place, what has been done to this point, and where we're going. On the 29th of November, MEMA met with FEMA. And at that meeting, we still they have not passed on to Calvert County, Michael Grierson and his crew, to me yet, what the outcome was. The gut feeling is that Maryland is not going to meet the threshold to receive or to open up the funds through the Stafford Act. We don't know. I'm just telling you a gut feeling. But at the same time, the day before, when the storm was hitting, we also reached out to Legit at the same time. Because we knew it was either going to be FEMA, Legit, or us, but we wanted to go through the progression to make sure that we do what's right for the residents. Fiscally right. So we met with Legit. DB has met with them. We submitted reports to them. We've met with a lot of contractors. The words that you hear on the street or in the news about inventory issues, material issues, transportation, all that is legit. It is pulling teeth to get all these contractors to come out. Also, timeframes and material. This whole supply chain situation is bad. It is what it is. It's bad, but we're dealing with it. So the report is in here, but I will sum it all up, and the DB will unmute in a second. Is that all of it but the electrical has been submitted, and we're just waiting for Legit to circle back around with some other information she's working with Joanne on and us. So as soon as we hear from Legit, because what they told us was, told DB, don't start anything until we give you the dollar amount. So we're real close. We're not weeks away anymore. We're days away. I feel very confident today. So DB, unmute. Somehow, somebody. All right. So his report is in here. It's pretty good report. What questions do y'all have? And again, everybody's muted. So once you have a question, just raise your hand and then we can get, or you can unmute or whatever way we can do this. And DB will answer your questions if you have any questions about the report submitted.
So the mayor sums it up great. We did get two or three estimates from contractors on each item, as you see in the report. I did get a call because they knew we had a council meeting tonight, and the electrical came in for all new conduit, new wire, and new Ballard type lightings that are in the 3rd Street Park. If we were to decide to go with those, would be roughly around $22,000. That amount hadn't been passed on to the insurance company yet. Most of the other numbers have already been passed on to Legit. What we have to do, we have to give them an estimate, time and material estimate, and they have to respond with their estimate, what they think it should cost. Like I say, if anybody has any questions, please let me know.
Lauren does.
I think I had just got to keep hitting ask to unmute, then you can unmute.
There you
Yeah,
go.
because it's not working. Hey, great report, DB, so detailed, really, really good, and very helpful. I just had a quick question about the lighting. You had been talking to the contractor about the solar light option. Did that ever pan out, or can't find something that's commercially viable or of commercial grade?
That's the problem with the solar. We like to go solar to save a lot of money on wiring and future damage to conduit and wires and that type of issue. But they just don't make a commercial light that would hold up and it's big enough to put out enough light to cover the area, walkway area. He's still researching that option. It's not off the table, but he said, just hadn't found anything yet that would be, that would work in that area.
Okay. That would be great if if we could find something, but I can understand why it
Most of
might
the
be
time, the way he was talking when we met the other day is like the street lights you see, like some of the towns have large street lights, but then they have the big solar panels that power each one of those lights. So that's a problem. You have to have a big panel, big enough panel to power the light to let it last long enough to get a light that's strong enough to put out bright enough to do the job. So I'd like to go solar. We'd love to go solar just because of the conduit issue, because under the boardwalk there and the place we have to put the conduit is not very, with the wave action there, it's a bad spot for electric wires. But unfortunately, so far we haven't found any option.
Okay. And then as far as replacing the railing on the boardwalk, are you looking to replace it with the same kind of design that was there before? Because I know there were some questions. Mickey had made a suggestion about maybe wire railing, and I wondered if you like where we were on that.
Yeah, the price so far, what we had is replace in kind. And that's kind of because we have so much of the style that's there now. And we had a hard time without putting out like an RFP and to get a contracting firm to come in. You know, the couple guys we asked about, they're like, man, you think the price on lumber is high, that stainless steel wire is out of the question. So they
Yeah.
didn't even want to really quote it because they
Okay.
knew how much it would cost. You know, that's not off the table, but we didn't price that yet. The
Okay.
prices we got were for putting it back as in kind.
Okay, just curious. Thank you.
Definitely
report.
look at his report. There are some, what we don't want to do is just do it. We want to make sure we improve what we can. So there are, you know, we're going from Hatch's Corner all the way to the Finger Pier on 7th Street. So when we do the lights, it's not just the 5 lights that were damaged. It's the conduit from 7th Street Finger Pier all the way to Hatch's Corner, plus the lighting. So it's all uniform, and we can just finally get rid of the issues that we've had and just fix this once and for all. But also fixing that little flower bed area when you're looking at the boardwalk to the right. So take a look at the report. You have any questions, get with DB about it. But I think I think residents will be very happy. We left no stone unturned.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of damage when you read through the report. It's all
Yes.
there in one place, and it's you know, I was surprised it was that bad, you know,
We're
and not
close, though.
expensive, and not expensive.
We're very, 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 very close.
Yeah, yeah, no, I know.
We're very close. So, you know, we didn't rush it. We didn't drag our feet. We're very
Yep.
close. Yes,
Yep,
Lisa.
all good.
So muted. Lauren, I was surprised at the cost myself, but
Yeah,
that's what we'll have to see what the insurance adjuster comes back with his estimates and kind of
right.
goes from there.
DB, I was looking lower down, speaking about surprising cost. It said that some specimen trees, they gave bids on the idea of specimen trees, and the prices went from 160 all the way up to $550. Where will they be replacing the trees?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Trees.
Oh, down here it says specimen trees and grasses and things.
Where?
Were they
Sure.
not
I'm
part
not
of
sure
it?
what report that's on, but that wasn't on mine, I don't think.
Oh,
Is
okay.
that the erosion repair sheet?
That's what I thought it was. It was talking about lumber and stuff. So that's not the same thing. All right. I'm sorry. I thought they were replacing trees in people's yards.
No,
That's what I
no,
was-
we don't touch people's yards.
That's what-
It does
Just
say that though. It
checking,
says,
just
specimen
checking.
trees and, yeah, switch grasses.
Oh, you see, Lisa, it has a 0, so maybe this is just a template, right?
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you
Template.
talking
Yeah,
about
and
the
then you
report?
mark.
The breakdown from the county?
it's the erosion
Stormwater
repair.
maintenance and construction report. Bid comparison between all the people.
Oh, no, yeah, don't.
Yeah, that's just, what that is, Lisa, is a unit price contract. If
From
we
the
decide to
county.
use a contractor, that's unit prices that we can use
Yeah.
for,
That has nothing to do with this.
No,
Right,
that doesn't have
there's a
nothing to do with
0.
this.
There's a 0 after specimen trees, so that's not even.
Yeah.
It's just an option.
Good. I just
All
was
right.
wondering why, if they were replacing trees. Okay,
Nope.
thank you.
No, we never touch people's properties. I promise you that. Any other questions for DB before we move on to the next one? All right, and again, get with them if you have any questions, but I'm very proud of, I mean, it's harder than it looks to get these numbers, trust me. Contractors, they're working their butts off in supply chains. All right, let's move on to the next item. I apologize. I thought my phone was turned off. So, hold on one second. We're gonna move right into the council chamber AV equipment upgrade. Paul and Dawn should be unmuted on this one. One of our goals has been, as when we come back full steam ahead on the second floor, is that we want to keep the hybrid model in place so we can keep this, but also if they want to come live, because some of our best attendance has been because we did it through Zoom compared to live. So what we're going to do is keep it. But the problem is, even though our building's 10 years old, the equipment we have is outdated, is old already. Dawn is unmuted and Paul is unmuted. In your package, what we need tonight is a motion to approve the expenditures in the amount of $12,514.28 from the reserve fund for the upgrade to the AV equipment. We've met multiple companies here. Paul has been involved, who is our IT guru, and we got his blessing. And then Dawn has been knee deep into it. And we feel this is the best to be able to get us back upstairs, and it won't take long, and to be able to really offer a great product to our residents. So Paul, Dawn, if y'all want to take from there, it's all yours.
I'll just, I guess everyone has reviewed it, but we just have the pricing here to install web conferencing equipment that will integrate with what we currently have upstairs. They'll install a camera in the ceiling, in the center of the room, I guess, so you can see the whole front of the council chambers and the tables up front. It's a PTZ camera, pan, tilt, zoom. Is that correct, Paul?
Yes.
And that has an auto tracking capability. You can also use a remote control with it to control the camera, and all of the audio functions that go along with that. So the pricing you have in front of you is for equipment, all the way down to cables and connectors and things like that, and labor. That's all I have. Paul, do you have anything to add? Oh, and I will add, this is AVISPL. They are the company that installed all of the equipment that is up there. They're the ones that did it when the town hall was built. So it's the same company.
Yeah, the one thing I would add, just for Mickey, because I know this was one of the things he wanted, is that the camera itself will be mounted kind of forward in the room. So not only do we get the council seats, but also it can be tilted down to get the tables and things if we kind of rearrange for those types of meetings. So we took that into account. And yeah, we also looked at some other options as far as like replacing all the equipment. That was just not worth it at this point. So this is basically adding some additional equipment to our existing system to upgrade to the capabilities that we need to support Zoom meetings.
Can I ask
Mickey
a
has his
question?
hand raised.
Okay, I'll unmute Mickey. Can I ask a question real quick? Does that include training?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think there's a, I forgot what it is. There's something is in there about training staff.
Yeah, it does.
It just catches us up in time. So
And Paul, I'd assume we've replaced that PC because it was probably one of the oldest ones left.
So it's still in there right now, but it is going to be replaced. We're actually going to replace it, I think, with laptops. The plan is to be able to control it from there. And yeah, but that one is on the list for being replaced.
Well, yeah, I just remember like before, like we had the issue with the computer not being able to talk to the internet because it had a separate IP to control the system. So it's just making sure that we can control that system, then also use it to access the internet if we take the laptop to like the front desk to control everything or something.
Yes, you're not seeing that here because that's going to go through our standard like IT purchase processes.
Back end.
Yeah, so that was part of a standard thing we're doing. It was already part of the budget.
Okay.
This is additional to that to make sure we have what we need for Zoom.
Okay.
But they're going to be done simultaneously.
Okay.
I'm excited about it. I'm excited to get back up there. I'm excited to keep the online version so people can be at home if they're running late. So
we'll just have
any
to
other
all use our
questions?
microphones.
What's that?
We'll just have to all make sure we use our microphones.
Yeah,
Yes.
we joked about that when we were up there talking to the companies.
And that's
Right,
something they're going to look into as well as they update the system, is seeing if they can tweak the mics and stuff like that. So that's all going to be part of that.
Greg is on the call, so once we're done this, then we'll go back and vote on the minutes from the work session. But any other questions for this? The motion that's on the table right now is to approve the expenditure in amount of $12,514.28 from the reserve fund for the upgrade to the AV equipment in the council chambers. Also, I think Joe's on here. She was. No big deal.
She's there. I just
There,
asked
she's
her.
right in the middle. I'm sorry. Joe's on here. If you have any questions about where the funding is going to come from.
No, we have a built-in reserve in our operating budget. If you look at the bottom of the budget, you'll see that. That's what I would utilize.
So we have the motion on the table. If we don't have any other questions, I'd like to call the vote. Can I have a motion?
Who made-
I move to approve the expenditure.
Yes, that's what I was getting to. All right, we have a
I
do we have a
second.
second. Paul's second. Any discussion before I call the vote? All in favor, raise your hand. And Greg raised his hand. We can't see it. Well, no. There he is. His hand's raised. All right, all in favor. So we have 5 love on that one, 5-0 vote for approval. Thank you so much. And I promise you, Dawn will not disappoint you.
I'll try not to.
All right. Greg, thank you so much. We're going to go back for a second. And I like to go back to minutes from the December 2nd, 2021 work session. Can I have a motion to pass the minutes from the December 2nd, and there it says 2021 work session as presented?
So moved.
Got a smoke, so moved. We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. All right, and then Paul abstained. So 4, we have a quorum, we have a majority. Thank you so much. The next item is Chapter 3, North Beach zoning. It's just in there for information purposes for tonight. It is not on the table to discuss. You have it. We will be discussing it for our final time next month, and then we'll be voting on it. We will be doing a public hearing and then vote on it at the next council meeting. But it's in there for you to look at. He cleaned up everything that we talked about. So don't mess it up if you can't. Don't touch it, and we'll go from there. What do we have left here? I'm gonna, obviously I do most of the talking here as I run the meeting, so I'm gonna concede my time. I do want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Stay tuned. We're inching along on a couple of items, but I'm excited about some of the new changes and improvements we're making around town and within town hall. So let's get to council reports. I'm going to go left to right. Elizabeth. She's in Hawaii, so let's wake her up. Oh, she's waking
I'm
up.
awake. It's still the middle of my workday, by the way. It's a long one. So very busy month working on, I should say, welcome everyone to this month's town meeting. I'm excited to be here with you, of course. Very busy month for me as far as town council is concerned. Working on Chapter 3, really refining what's in the table. That was really fun working with Rick on that. So I had my second meeting of the environmental committee. The first one was last month and I wasn't here to report on it. Really excellent meeting. We had a new member, so welcome Herb Wolf to the committee. He's not here this evening. He's going to be a great addition. Has a systems background. He's going to be working with us to talk to the county representatives on environmental so we can get aligned there. So really great stuff. Also putting a lot of effort into revitalizing the health and well-being resolution of 2020 that sort of got derailed because of 2020. So so more about that in 2021. And again, aloha. I'll have a pineapple for you. And I'll see you next time.
Thank you. Paul.
I'd just like to thank everyone for coming out, and also a quick shout out to the town staff and Public Works for all the decorations out there. It really looks fantastic this year. I mean, it looks good every year during the holiday season, but this year even that much better. So with that, everybody have a happy holiday, and we'll see you next year, which is crazy.
Thank you, Paul. Lauren.
Hello, everyone. Good to be here. I have been doing a lot of work on working with the flood committee, focusing primarily this month on trying to identify some good grant options. And we found a couple. There's a National Fish and Wildlife Service grant that's can offer up to $5 million per town. We won't get that much, but there's a lot of money out there. And then there's a Maryland grant as well. So we're working with the flood committee to kind of provide the content and the substance to Joanne to help her apply for some of these grants. The flood meeting, the stormwater and flood meeting this week is probably going to be, did we decided yes, right, Donnie? It's going to be postponed. So we won't meet in December, but we will meet in January. And we will be sending out some, an agenda and some minutes and some other information about some restructuring of the flood committee that we're going to do. But so that'll go out and be posted to our website. And then we'll meet again in January. And again, we have a ton of work. We're doing a lot. If anyone wants to join, please do. I guess that's it. That's it for
Thank you, Lauren.
me. Sure.
All right, let me come around to Mickey. All right, he's good. I guess he's good. He has baby in his hand. All right.
Thank you all for coming out. Sorry for the random noises from the little one. We're keeping an eye on the weather to make a decision about Saturday's movie. I hope it can go off. I'm just concerned about wind and rain. Those would be the two reasons I'd cancel it, for the safety of everybody and the equipment. So other than that, happy holidays and see everybody next year.
I like hearing that. Thank you, Mickey. All right, Greg. There he is.
Hello, everyone. Just like to thank everyone for coming out. Wish everyone a happy holidays and stay safe.
Thank you so much. He has his hands full right now with the Army Navy, so he's knee deep into it. Thank you for being able to make it, Greg. It means a lot. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending. As you can tell, we're getting a lot done, a lot of hard work going on. So I need a motion to adjourn the meeting, to go into closed session, to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom the public body has jurisdiction, and any other personal matter that affects one or more specific individuals. Can I have a motion? So moved. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second, third, any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you. Council members, stay on. Everybody else, thank you so much for attending. God bless you and have a wonderful holiday season.